Hey. What is up, hustle babes? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Hey. Hey, y'all. What is up? What is up? So, if you can hear me, put in the chat box where you are signing in from. So, where are you checking in from on live? Let me know in the chat box so I can make sure that you can see and hear me before we get into it tonight because it's going to be really good, y'all. I promise. Hey, Shy. Lorelli. Hey. Mary Blue. Hey. As perfect as possible, said fear be completely taken over me. Ma'am, we're talking about that tonight for real. Hey, Gina. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Vernique. So Vernique is checking in from Tennessee. As perfect as possible is at work watching this. I know that's right. Gina's from Chicago. Hey. So how has your week been? So we haven't had a Hustle Talks live in like a week and a half. So tell me how it's been for that whole week and a half. It felt like longer to me, but it's only been a week and a half. But let me know, how did your weekend go? How was the week before that? How was this week for you? On a scale of 1 to 10, if you had to rate it, let me know how your week has been and how your weekend was. Let me know. Let me know. My past week and a half has been so busy, but it's been so good. Oh, and if y'all watched the first and second episodes of Hustle Talks, you would have noticed that I have a new camera. It's not new. It's the camera that I use to record vlogs and stuff. But I figured out how to connect it, and now we have clear video. It's way more clear than it was before because I was using my computer's camera before to go live, and my computer camera only goes up to 720 or something like that. So it was not it. Hey, Althea. Maya said it's been pretty good, busy. Gina said it's been a 10 for the past week and a half. It's perfectly possible said week has been smooth, about a 5. So for me, in the past week and a half, I had my workshop, and then I threw my sister a 30th birthday party. And then literally Andy's birthday is July 3rd. So her birthday wasn't the weekend we threw the party, but we ended up throwing it on that weekend because the weekend of her birthday was Juneteenth and Father's Day, and it was too much going on. So we threw her 30th birthday party last weekend, and then Andy turned, I don't know if he want me to tell you his age, but he's not old. He turned 29 this past weekend. And so I had to figure out what to do for my husband's birthday. So what I did was I planned this full weekend itinerary where we did a whole lot. We did a mixture of going to the spa, we had massages, we went to the sauna, we tried out restaurants that we always wanted to try. We went to this really cool coffee spot, and they have these unique blends. They had a birthday cake, they had a churro one, they had what else did they have? They had a dulce de leche. They had a whole bunch of flavors, and that's my kind of coffee. I love the taste of espresso, but I also love a good flavored coffee. So I was so happy when I found that place. So we tried out there, and Andy's a huge cocktail and cigar kind of guy. I actually put him up on craft cocktails, if I had to say so myself, because before me, he was just drinking rum and cokes and things like that. And so I took him to this really cool cocktail and cigar lounge, and we had a time. Althea said her week has been busy. Hey, Jenny. Vernique said it's been busy, but it was great. And so we had a time. This past weekend was so good. And this week was also good because we celebrated his birthday all throughout the weekend and even throughout July 4th. We had a barbecue and everything. But over the course of celebrating his birthday, on Sunday, we went to one specific place that honestly, when I think back on it, it was incredible. And that's what prompted me to want to do this topic here tonight. because we went to this Treetop Adventure Park place. If you've ever heard of a Treetop Adventure Park, let me know in the chat box. But I don't know what like motivated me to sign us up for this, because let me describe what a Treetop Adventure Park is like. The reason why it's called a Treetop Adventure Park is because all of the adventures, you don't do it on the ground. You do it up in the air. So you're suspended on these trees. Mind you, some of them trees were shaking, but you are suspended on these trees and you have to go through certain obstacles to complete the full course. On the obstacles, they have zip lines and things like that, but the zip lines were not the hardest part. What was the hardest part was the fact that you're on these massive trees. We're talking trees that have an average height of like 50, 70, 100 feet. You're on these massive trees suspended in the air, and you have to then complete the obstacle course. And none of the things are the same. Like every single obstacle that you go through is different from the last. Not only that, but as you go through the levels, it gets harder, and then you have to go higher. So they literally put the highest level on the tallest trees. So that's what a Treetop Adventure is. And when I signed up for it, I was like, oh yeah, this is nothing. But as we pulled up and we saw everything, Andy literally turned to me and he was like, what prompted you to sign us up for this? Like, what made you buy tickets for this? And I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? I don't know. Because I'm allergic to outside, literally, not figuratively. Like, I'm allergic to outside. So on my way there, I'm popping my Zyrtex, I'm taking my allergy medication, and he doesn't know where we're going. So I'm popping this, and then I'm spraying my off, I'm putting on my sunscreen, I am lathering up, I'm doing the whole thing. I'm medicating, lathering up, I'm doing everything to prep for me being outside. But what I didn't prep for was the mental shock I would have been in once I pulled up to this place. So we pulled up, we see these massive trees, he sees where we're at, and he's like, okay, don't know why you signed us up for this, but all right, let's do it, right? So I'm gonna walk y'all through what happened, because the story is crazy. All right, y'all ready? I'm gonna walk you through what happened. Hey, Jessica. This sounds like an activity I need in my life. Woo, child. Gina said, I love it here. You survived with a testimony. Sure did. We're going to talk about what happened, okay? Because what happened is what I didn't plan for at all, but I don't even know what I planned for. So let's get into it. So we pull up, we park, we hop out. Andy's shocked. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, let's do it. So we go to this trailer thing to buy tickets. Because it's outside, they don't have a physical building. So it's this trailer thing where you buy your tickets and you have to sign a waiver. And this whole submarine thing got my mind going crazy about waivers. So I'm trying to read the waiver as fast as I can, but I'm also rushing because I know that the cutoff time is about to be like right now. And we need to sign this waiver and we need to go through if we're going to do this. We had already driven like 50 minutes to get to this space anyway, up north. I was like, we got to do this. We're doing it. So read the waiver, sign it off. The lady literally has to turn to her manager and she's like, is it okay if they go through? Because, yeah, we're supposed to cut it off, they're the last ones. And the manager's like, yeah, they could go through. I was like, great, because it's his birthday and I really wanted him to do this, She's like, oh, happy birthday. Okay, boom. So we leave the trailer, we have our tickets, we signed the waiver, we have our wristband on. The first stop we have to go to is where they're going to strap you up with your harness and give you these gloves that apparently give you a better grip of everything when you're up there. So that way you don't like scar your hand or anything like that. So it's these two people, a man and a woman, who have to like strap us up. So as they're strapping us up, they're putting together all these buckles, they're tightening all of these straps, they're doing all these things, they give us our gloves, they're putting on these gloves. And then once they're done, they're like, all right, you're ready to go over there. That lady's gonna walk you through all the safety protocols that you need to know. As I begin to walk off, one of the straps falls off my shoulder. I turn to the lady and I'm like, ma'am, is this supposed to do this? Like, is this supposed to fall off? She's like, oh no, it's not supposed to do that. Hold on, let me fix it before you go out there. So my level of panic from when I came out the car to now, it went up. Now I'm on 10 because you didn't even strap me in right to begin with. And you expected me to go dangle in the air on these trees and this thing is loose. I could have died. So that's my first thought. I'm like, all right, now I'm really nervous. So we walk over to this lady with purple hair, who's supposed to give us like the rundown of everything. We get over there. She's all like, yeah, okay. But then right after she greets us, like her energy kind of goes down a little bit. And I'm wondering, like, is there something wrong? But I chuck it up to her just being tired. So she walks us through. She's saying all this stuff and she's going a mile a minute. Like she's just da-da-da-da. You do this, you do that. If something happens, you use this. When you go on the zip line, you got to use this other hook that up. Do this, do that, da-da. She's going through it hella fast. And I'm like, trying to gather everything that she's saying. And Andy's face is showing me that he is super concerned because he don't know what this lady's talking about. Like, he has great listening skills when it comes to me, and I think it's because he's used to me talking. But when it comes to like other people, especially something that he's already nervous about, you really got to take it slow and break it down to him. So I'm the one trying to like take all this in so that I can coach him through when we get on the course. So she's done giving us the full rundown, right? She gives us the full rundown, and then it's time for us to go on the practice course, which she's also going to walk us through. We go through the practice course with a breeze. Almost with a breeze. Andy still has some questions because I said he doesn't listen when it comes to all this information. So we go through the practice course and it's a breeze for me. I'm like, all right, this is cake. I got it. We're going to do this. There's another practice course and she just says, y'all don't need that. Y'all got it. I'm like, bet, let's go. So we're walking through. There are 4 levels, right? There's actually like 5. There's level 1, level 2A, level 2B, level 3, and then level 4. So 5 levels technically. As we're walking, level 1 is first, obviously, but it's first on our path. The lady's like, yeah, you could probably skip level 1 if you want to. It's really for beginners. You could skip and just go straight to level 2, or maybe even 2B if you really want to do that. I look at her and I say, I don't know. I think we need to do level 1. And she's like, all right, have fun. If anything happens, yell blue shirt. That's how we'll know that there's an emergency and we'll come running to help you. Okay, I'm going to yell blue shirt as I'm dying falling from the trees. Cool, got it. So we decided we're not skipping level 1. We go to level 1 and we start going through it. On the website, and if you ask any of the blue shirt people, they tell you that the level should take you approximately 30 minutes to complete. We're on level 1 for 50 minutes, y'all. 50 minutes. So we're going through, and each obstacle, we're taking our time. We're over here coming up with game plans. We're figuring it out, though. We're working through it. We're a little scared, but we're pushing through it. We're learning what teamwork is as we're suspended 50-something, 60-something feet in the air. We're going through it. We're like, all right, bet. We complete level 1 30 minutes later. Well, not 30 minutes later from the time we should have completed it. So 50 minutes later, we complete level 1. Oh my goodness, I skipped the part. There was a part on level 1 that I was so nervous about crossing that I yelled blue shirt for him to coach me through it. And he did. And then I realized it wasn't as bad as I thought. So we complete level 1. It ends in a zip line, right? I go down the zip line. We now have to proceed to level 2. So it's level 2A. But let me wait. Before I get to level 2, I'm going to show y'all what it looks like. Because I want y'all to have a visual of what this park looks like as I'm saying it. Because this is important. I want y'all to see this so bad. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I could drop it in. Let me see if I could drop it in so that y'all can see. This is level 1. This is how high up we were on level 1. This is me zip lining at the end. Right? As Perfect as Possible says, where is it again? Because I live up north. It's it's like northern Georgia. I can tell you the place. But this is literally me completely level 1. This is how high up we were, right? Then this is me on the level 1 course. I want to show y'all what some of the obstacles look like. This is a tightrope where I'm going across. I'm not letting go of this rope. The whole course, I'm holding on to this rope. And this is me like sticking my tongue out because I feel like I got it. I'm like, oh yeah, I got this. So I'm going across. Mind you, I'm going hella slow. The point is, I'm going through it though. So I'm going through it. Boom. So we're done with level 1, right? We're done with level 1. And it's time to go to level 2. Level 2 is another beast. Level 2, I don't know what they were thinking when they made some of these obstacles. But it wasn't it, right? So we start going through level 2. I don't even know how many obstacles we got through before we got to this one main obstacle that prompted me to talk about what I'm talking about tonight. It's this area. There's these planks of wood. They're connected by a string. So none of the wood pieces are stable at all. None of the wood pieces are stable. It's these planks of wood. I need to make myself full screen again. But it's these planks of wood. And as you walk on it, they shift like this. Like I'm trying to demonstrate it. It's the weirdest thing ever. So your goal is to get on the plank, walk the plank to the next plank, but somehow have it balance itself out so that way you don't fall off. The point of this whole obstacle is to go through it and complete it without falling off. If you fall off, you won't necessarily die. I think you will though. But you won't necessarily die. You'll probably dangle in the air a little bit until you figure it out and figure out what you're going to grab onto to get back on this course. Mind you, you saw what the tightrope looked like. So the tightrope is this skinny thing. So if you fall off and you're dangling, you got to figure out how to grab yourself, get back on this skinny behind rope, balance yourself, and then go through it. So you do not want to fall. Like, you don't want to fall. That is the ultimate embarrassment. That is also just the ultimate, like, this a headache. I don't want to do that. I have minimal upper body strength. I have powerful legs. I don't got the same strength in my arms, okay? I don't got it. So falling off would be a lot for me. So we're going through level 2 and we're on the plank things that's going like this. I don't want to fall. Andy goes first because level 1, I went first and I said, nope, we got to switch. So Andy goes first throughout all of level 2. So he's already across this little plank thingamajiggy. He's already across and he's trying to coach me through getting across as I'm freaking out. I'm screaming. I'm like shaking. My legs are going like this. Like I'm having a semi-panic attack, but he's coaching me through and I continue to push through. But I want to show y'all what it looked like as I'm going through it, because this right here was the scariest part for me of the obstacle course. Hold on. I want to play the vibe. I want y'all to see this. Y'all can see it, right? I want y'all to see this. Let me know if y'all can see this. Gina said, yes, I need that. Ooh, girl, you're a daredevil. You're a daredevil. Let me know in the chat if y'all can see my video, because I don't know if y'all can see it, but I want to make sure that y'all can see it. Let me know. Uh-oh. Okay, perfect. It's like delayed on my end. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to play this video. It's 54 seconds. Watch this. This is the scariest part of the course for me.
Come on.
Oh, one of my nails broke.
Nails going to go. Hold it. Hold it. Get your balance again. Get your balance right here. Breathe. Almost there. Hold on now. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right. All right. Come on. Hold on. Hold on. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe.
I'm trying to laugh. Don't make me laugh, please.
Come on. Well, hold it right now. Just slide. Good job. You broke?
Oh. So that was me going through that was me going through it, right? And it looks like you can't really see it moving because I was doing a good job of like balancing them, like the planks, but those planks move completely. So your job, like I said, is to balance and make it across at the same time without falling. And Lisa said, "You got that, girl." Woo! It didn't feel like that in that time, right? Like I'm sweating bullets pushing through this. So we get through that. At that moment, I thought that, okay, I got through this. That got to be the hardest part. The next obstacle is worse. The next obstacle is a thin line like that tightrope that y'all saw. And then they have these big boulder things that are swinging. So your job is to balance, walk across that thin rope, and dodge all the boulder things that are swinging. And these are huge balls. Like they're big. They're like massive balls that once they hit you, you're off. That's the next obstacle that we have to go through. It was so bad that none of us recorded it. We were trying to push through. And then what happened next, we also couldn't record it because of that. So as we're going through, we're avoiding these boulder thingies that are swinging left and right and also balancing on this tightrope. And we hear a crackling noise. We look up, we look down, and then we see a whole bunch of blue shirts. Y'all remember how I said the blue shirts are the emergency people? We see a whole bunch of blue shirts screaming, telling people it's thundering, it's about to lightning, it's about to be lightning, it's about to be a whole storm. We need you to get down now. What? We started level 2 maybe 3 obstacles ago. We probably got 5 more to go through, maybe more than that, before we could get down. We're like, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to jump off? Like, how do we really get off of this? How do we get down? The lady goes, ask some more blue shirt people. They huddle together and determine that the only way Andy and I can get down is if we complete level 2. So now, y'all, we got thunder, which means that lightning is about to start. We're in these trees, and if you know anything about anything, you know that lightning and trees don't mesh. If lightning hits a tree, you're done for. The fact that you're even in a tree makes you more prone to be hit by lightning. Not only that, but the harness that we have on has a bunch of metal on it. What they're buckling us with is metal. What we have to hook onto that rope that was at the top that I'm holding on to, that's metal. The zip line thing that we then have to pull out to zip line down the line is also metal. If you know anything about anything again, metal and lightning don't mix either. So we are panicking. We're like, holy crap. Okay, so we got to go through this. We got to make it down, and we somehow can't get electrocuted. So in that moment, we're like, all right, we either push through this, figure it out, maybe we fall a couple times, we got to pull ourselves back up, or we stay here, freeze up, get shocked by lightning, and I'm dramatic, so I'm just going to say die, right? And then I die, right? So we had those 2 choices. What would you have done in that scenario? I'm interested. What would you have done in that scenario? Are you going with option A, which is pushing through the course and completing it to get down? Are you going with option B where, you know, you may get shocked? But remember, option A means that you may fall a couple of times. Option B is just giving up and you may be shocked. So which one would you have done? Option A or option B? You put A or B in the chat. And I said the same thing about them checking the weather. because once again, we drove 50 minutes to get here. So we did our due diligence of trying to check the weather as well. But the weather app is only so accurate, especially when you're not in the pace, in the area that, you know, you're going to. But as we're buying tickets, I feel like it was close enough that you could have told us. But, you know, so let me know, option A or option B. My mom says start crying. Michaela said both. So you gonna stop and you gonna push through? Okay, we gonna see how that goes. Gina said, I can't stay on. I got to push through. Althea and Regina said, A, I'm pushing through. All right. So those that said A, y'all are like me, right? I got a certain mindset. I'm going to push through anything. So I pushed through. Remember, Andy's in front. So Andy's completing a lot of these things before me. And I'm pushing through. Mind you, my arms are shaking from what y'all just saw when I was holding on for dear life because the plank thing. So I'm pushing through. I got this newfound energy and I'm pushing through. I'm like, I ain't dying today. I didn't come here to die. I'm not dying today. Let's do it. So I push through and I get to the end. Ironically enough, the end of level 2A has a safety net at the very end, which I thought was hilarious. So the safety net is at the complete end. And I was just thinking, oh, wow, I pushed through all this. I had this newfound energy. I'm hella tired. I'm drenched in sweat. And now I could just throw my body and fall down on this safety net and be okay. It was so rewarding. But then we get off of level 2A. Remember, there's technically 5 levels. We didn't get to go to any of the other levels, obviously. We hurry up and go straight to the car. Or no, we got to take the stuff off. So they take off our harness and all that stuff. And then we hurry up and get to the car. We get in the car, close the door. I kid you not. 10 seconds later, all hell breaks loose in the sky. It is now thunder, lightning, storming, everything. Just whoosh. Close the door. 10 seconds later, it's a madhouse outside, which is also really ironic to me, right? So you may have listened to this full story, right? I don't know how long I've been telling this story, like 20 minutes or something. You may have listened to this full story and it may seem as though I just told you about a day in my weekend because I told you we were celebrating Andy's birthday. And on Sunday, we did something in particular, which is this Treetop adventure, right? So to you, this sounds like a day in my life, an extract of a day of my life where I just told you what happened in my weekend. But in reality, I just shared an extremely important business and life lesson. I don't know if y'all picked up what I just put down, but I just shared an extremely important business and life lesson. How many times have you seen the course and thought this is cake or this is going to be cake just to be slapped with fear once you got to level 1? How many times have you skipped levels in your business or in your life to try to cheat code your way to success? Remember at the beginning, we had the option of skipping over level 1. We chose not to. Imagine if we would have skipped over level 1, got into level 2A, we wouldn't have been equipped with the proper tools to complete level 2A, especially when the fire was placed under our butt when that lightning came. How many times have you been on the actual course and given up halfway through because it got too difficult or because you were too scared? In your business and in your life, if you were placed in my situation, would you have pushed through or would you have gotten scared? Let me know in the chat. Would you have pushed through or would you have gotten scared? If you were in my situation, replicate that for your business and your life. Tell me, do you normally push through or do you think you would have gotten scared? I want to see what y'all say. Let's see. Lisa said that was God's grace. It sure was. Brianna said I would have flew through it with a new energy. I sure did. When I tell you, it was like supercharged on a video game. I sure did. There was one thing that had like hula hoops of different sizes. I was just throwing my body through it. I was getting through it because I wasn't gonna die today. Okay, so tell me, in your business and life, if you were placed in my situation, would you have pushed through or would you have gotten shocked because you were scared? Gina said, unexpected challenges that look easy, freaking out, but move, or it could be worse off. Fernique said, I would have been scared, but I would have continued on because I don't give up easily. As perfect as possible says, honestly, it depends on what, I don't know, but sometimes I push through and sometimes I give up. Some of you guys are watching this and you're not answering in the chat because you think it's a no-brainer. You think that, of course, I'm going to push through. You think that, yeah, duh, why would I get shocked? Right? Some of y'all are saying that, and some of y'all are being honest right now in the chat, and I appreciate that. But for those who aren't being honest, or for those who aren't writing in the chat, you think it's a no-brainer, yet in your day-to-day business, in your day-to-day life, you're succumbing to your fears every single day. There've been so many times where you killed your own dreams due to fear. I can almost guarantee that. You think it's a no-brainer, yet every single day you're getting shocked and you're killing your dreams. Every single day you're letting fear take over you versus you actually pushing through. So what I want you to do is I want you to actually think about why you're doing that. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself, why do you continue to sabotage yourself day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year? You have this amazing dream of owning this really nice house or this really nice condo. You have this amazing dream of traveling the world. You have this amazing dream of creating such a huge savings for your child that they don't have to stress out about anything because they'll have that safety net. You have this amazing dream of having this business that employs tens or hundreds of people. You have this amazing dream of just doing so many things, yet in your everyday life, you punk yourself out every single time. Every single time. So what I want you to do right now on July 6th, 2023, is I want you to make the commitment to annihilate fear. I want you to literally write this out, right? I hope you have your notebook because I want you to write something down. Write it in your notepad, write it in your notebook, write it wherever you need to write it. I want you to write down, I will no longer let fear control my life. Just like that. I will no longer let fear control my life. And as you write it down, I need you to start to believe it. Tonight, I'm going to walk through some things that will help you annihilate this fear. However, your belief in it and what you do with the information I give you is completely up to you, which is why I'm asking you to make this commitment. Because I can't physically check on you, especially when you're not my client or you're not in one of my programs. I can't physically check on you. So it's going to be up to you to physically check on yourself. So once you make this commitment to yourself, you need to follow through with it. So I will no longer let fear control my life. Because tonight, we're going to annihilate fear, y'all. Tonight, I am going to share the 5 most common roadblocks that either I've heard my clients go through, I've heard people within my community go through, or I have gone through myself. And I'm going to talk to you about how to overcome them so that way you can be the amazing entrepreneur that you dream of being. You could be the amazing mother, the amazing wife, the amazing whoever that you dream of being, because fear will no longer be a thing for you. So if you're ready for me to share those 5 roadblocks as well as how to overcome them, put I'm ready in the chat, and put it in all caps actually. Put I'm ready in the chat if you are ready to hear these 5 most common roadblocks, which I can guarantee you that you have dealt with at some point in time or are currently dealing with right now. Put I'm ready in the chat if you're ready to hear them and you're ready to hear how to overcome them. I see some of y'all saying you definitely needed this right now. You're breaking it down with the fire emoji. I would have been pumped at the beginning, but froze when it came to do it, but I would have finished though. I know that's right. I see Vernique saying I'm ready. And in addition to putting I'm ready in all caps in the chat, I want you guys to share this link with someone that needs to hear it right now. So go to the bottom of this video. Hold on, let me get closer really quick. Go to the bottom of this video. You know I could do this now because it's a camera. Go to the bottom of this video. Hit the share button and share this link with someone who needs to hear it right now. I want everyone who needs to hear this to join on right now. Even if you're watching the replay, share this link with someone that you know in your life who has been fearful of something. Share the link and have them come watch it. Heck, maybe you're in the house or you're in a space with someone right now that needs to come watch this. Put me up on a screen, a tablet, your TV, something, and have them come and sit next to you, grab your popcorn, your notebook, because we're going to get into it. Okay, so I see I'm ready in the chat. I'm ready, SpongeBob voice. I used to love SpongeBob when I was younger. I kind of still do, but I don't watch it as much, especially because they tried to change the integrity of my boy. But I see a bunch of I'm readies. Lisa's ready. Khadijah's ready. Althea's ready. Althea, did you get your gift card? Did you get your gift card? Please tell me you got it, because I'll be devastated if I sent it to the wrong email address. Althea's birthday was this weekend as well. And Althea is not only in the eHustle Club, but she's also my VIP client. I've been working with her since May. And her birthday was this weekend. I sent her a little e-gift. So Althea, please let me know if you got it. Okay, so I see Shy is ready. Gina's ready. TS is ready. Hennifer is ready. My mom is ready. Regina's ready. Sabrina's ready. Hi. So share this with someone that needs to hear this right now. I'm going to give y'all like 60 more seconds to do that before I hop into these 5 roadblocks and what you could do to overcome them. Althea said, yes, thank you. Yay! Spend it wisely now. If you're like me, you shop on Amazon all the time. So hopefully that was great. Keisha's ready. Sonya's ready. All my life, they changed my dude, but I'm still obsessed with him. Child, I literally was walking in Walmart when we were shopping for things for the barbecue. And I saw this mug and it was SpongeBob all around. I almost bought it and I said, nah. I might go back and get it though. I'm a mug collector. So I see a lot of y'all are ready. Now, the next thing that I want to say is at the bottom, there should be a super chats button. So as I'm going through this episode tonight, if you feel like something resonated with you, if you feel like something helped you a lot, if you feel like I'm dropping a ton of gems, hit the super chats button and, give me a little something if you want to. I'm not pressuring you to, but whether it's $1, whether it's $5, whatever it is, I appreciate it. But it just shows me that you appreciate this. And it helps me keep leveling up my equipment and stuff. So that way we can get better and better each Hustle Talks episode. Okay. If you were on the last Hustle Talks episode, which was a week and a half ago, I said that I'm committed to improving something every single episode. So the first one was I got 2 screens so that way I could do all of this. I also upgraded my software and now I got this camera and I got a lot planned out. Like Andy and I wrote out, I think it was 8 improvements that we already got mapped out for Hustle Talk. So please, if you find it in your heart and you want to give your girl a little tip, hit the super chats button, or I think it says thanks at the bottom. Thanks, and it has like a $, and share the love, okay? So Y'all are ready, and I'm ready to get into it. Now, these 5 roadblocks are roadblocks that I have written down because I've reflected on the time I've spent with clients, but also my time as an entrepreneur and my time before I became an entrepreneur. What's cool about what I do right now is that I know that my audience is a version of who I was before. And in some instances, my audience is a version of who I currently am or what I currently go through on a day-to-day. And I'm happy about that because it means that these roadblocks are going to hit home for you guys. And so as I'm going through these roadblocks, when I say a roadblock, if it resonates with you, if you have experienced this roadblock or if you're experiencing this roadblock currently, I want you to put in the chat, that's me. I want you to put in the chat, that's me. Oh, I got a super chat from Annette. Thank you so much, Annette. Thank you so much. I don't know how to see it on this screen, but thank you so much, Annette. If you comment, I can pin your comment. Okay, so as I go through this, if these resonate with you, put that's me in the chat box. And I'm going to look down on my iPad because I want to make sure that I don't skip any important gems for you guys, all right? So let's get into it. Roadblock number 1, one of the roadblocks that's stopping you from the success that you should have within your business and within your life is lack of support. You think that people within your day-to-day life, your family and your friends, you think that they should hop up and support you. You think that they should be there to mentally encourage you. You think that they should be there to physically pack orders with you. You think that they should also be the ones shopping with you day after day, week after week, every single collection drop. You think that, right? But in reality, it doesn't end up happening. And then you punk yourself out of building this amazing brand or running this successful business because you don't have the support of your family and you don't have the support of your friends. You also think that you're doing something so major. Starting this business is such a big move for you. You're the first in your family, maybe even, to become an entrepreneur. You may be the first in your family to say that you want to quit a 9-to-5 and go full-fledged into entrepreneurship. And you think that because you're the first doing it, it's such a huge move that they should flock to support you. They should want to do nothing else more in the world than to support you. And so when those people don't support you, you're crushed. Your ego is crushed. Your confidence is crushed. All of that is crushed, and then that stops you from the success that you could have attained. What I want you to understand, though, is that the support that you're seeking from your friends and your family won't pay your bills. It sounds harsh, but it won't pay your bills. There's a difference between the support that you should expect from your family and the support that you should expect from a customer. Your family and your customers aren't the same. You will exhaust your family if every time you drop something new, you ran to them to purchase it and you've pressured them into purchasing with you. The reason why is because your family is your family. Your family may not be within your target audience. And if you've watched me for a while, you know that your target audience has a specific problem that you solve. Everyone in the world does not have the same problems. No matter how much you think that your product or your service, digital product, whatever is for everybody, it's not. Everyone is not your target audience. So you will burn out your family if you keep running to them, expecting them to just dish out money to you. Not only that, but you burn them out. Yeah, they may support you initially when you first launch. Yeah, they may buy something here or share something there, but you cannot continue to rely on that expectation from them. Instead, you need to focus on building a supportive community that's filled with your target audience, who's ready to engage with you, who's ready to shop with you, and who, after a while of being within your community, will develop a sense of loyalty with you, and then they start to share it to other people who have similar problems as them. While having the support of your loved ones is nice, because I do have the support from some of my loved ones, I can tell you that the support that I expect from them, I don't expect them to join my e-hustle club. I don't expect them to pay me 4 figures to be with me for a VIP experience of 3 weeks. I don't expect for them to join the ultimate launch course. I don't expect for them to do that. I know who my target audience is. And I know that 90% of my family and friends aren't it. Now, will they be here to maybe cheer me on as I have certain accomplishments? Heck yes, because I have a great support system. But notice what I said. They're cheering me on with what I'm doing, but I don't expect them to pay me. I don't even expect them to share something over and over and over and over again. I also don't expect them to physically work in my business with me. I hire people for that. Now, if they want to help, or if they find it in their heart and they want to help a couple of times, sure. But I don't expect that from them. When you put those expectations on your loved ones, you're always going to crush your motivation. You're always going to crush your confidence. And you're going to think that you're the black sheep because no one is supporting you. Okay? So if you resonate with roadblock number 1 of lack of support, put "that's me" in the chat. Put "that's me" in the chat. Something that I want to leave you with when it comes to this is family and friends, they don't necessarily choose not to support you because they hate you or something. Sometimes your family and friends are not supporting you because they don't understand. They don't quite understand what it looks like to leave a 9-to-5 and go full-fledged into entrepreneurship. They don't understand what it looks like to run your own business and not have to wait paycheck after paycheck. They don't fully understand the fact that you could sit here and make some body scrubs and sell them and become a 6-figure earner in a few years. Some of them really don't understand that. Not only that, but what I also notice when it comes to family and friends is because they don't understand it or they haven't gone through it themselves, they then project their fears on you. Ultimately, they want you to be good. Their goal for you is for you to be safe, for you to be stable, for you to, be happy throughout it all. And if they sense anything that will mess up that stability, mess up your happiness, mess up your safety, they don't want you to do it. And to be quite honest, entrepreneurship isn't really stable. Entrepreneurship is really scary. And so they're not going to be okay with that sometimes. What ends up happening is if you push through the fact that you have no support and you continue to strive, you continue to put effort into growing your brand, growing your business, connecting with the target audience that has the problem that you solve. If you continue to do that and you continue to win, you're then the example that they needed to see so that way they could understand. Now they believe in it. Now they'll be like, oh yeah, L'Oreal did this, so I know it's possible. So when your cousin wants to do it, your baby cousin wants to do it, it's easier on them because L'Oreal, you did it. As perfect as possible, you did it. And you showed them what it looks like. You showed them what that path looks like. And so now they can support the next person in your family to do it or the next friend in your friend group to do it. But if you're like me, you're probably one of the first or one of the first to stick at it. And so it's important to show them what it looks like, and then people will follow after you. I hope that makes sense. Y'all picked up what I put down with that one? Y'all picked up what I put down with that one? Let me know. Y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? I see that's really me. L'Oreal said, yes, I'm with you. Yes. Y'all still with me? Somebody said, girl, you preaching. Oh, let me remove this super chat. And thank you, As Perfect as Possible, for the super chat. I didn't thank you. And then there was someone else who gave me a super chat before you. L'Oreal, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right. So now let's get into Roadblock number 2. Roadblock number 2 is one that I personally haven't experienced, but I know that a lot of you have. Roadblock number 2 is thinking that there's too much competition. Be honest. Have you ever stopped yourself from pursuing a certain business idea because you thought everybody else was doing it? Or maybe you still are pursuing this business idea, but you punk yourself out of launching, or you punk yourself out of taking the next step because you think everybody else is doing it. You think that everybody else is already selling this thing. No one will ever buy from me because of all the other brands out there that are selling similar things. How in the world can I come into a space where there's company A, company B, company C, company D even, that's out there? They're already doing good. They've been in business for a while from what I see. It looks like they got a lot of, people shopping with them from what I see. So how in the world can I come into this space and be successful? That's what you're probably thinking if one of your roadblocks is that there's too much competition. Now, this is what I have to say to this, right? There is such thing as competition. However, in your mind, you stress yourself out about competition too much. You shouldn't put such a stress on who, what, when, where, whatever competition is, because you should uniquely solve a problem. If you know what your brand uniquely does, competition doesn't matter to you. You need to focus on uniquely solving a problem. Please emphasize the word uniquely. If you are taking notes, I want you to write uniquely solve a problem and put uniquely in all caps. Focus on uniquely solving a problem, and competition will start to fade away. That fear will start to fade away. The perfect example of this is Threads. And Threads just came out. So y'all know I think on my toes when it comes to things like this. Threads, if you don't know, if you know what Threads are, actually put it in the chat. But Threads, if you don't know, is the newest IG feature, IG app, whatever they call it, to come out. It actually went live for 100 countries yesterday. They had tested it out before then, but it actually went live for a majority of the world yesterday. I heard about it yesterday through someone, and when I heard about it, I was like, okay. I shared it with my husband. I shared it with 2 of my closest friends. I shared it with them, but I didn't look much into it. Today, I woke up and I said, I know that Threads came out yesterday. Let me start looking it up. I knew that at least the biggest blog sites would have created something about it already. Later.com, Hootsuite, Business Insider. Like, I know that these blog sites or websites, they would have some information on it. So I started to research Threads. And as I started to research Threads, I saw it for what it was. I then got on Instagram, and then I said, you know what? see a couple of people using this already. It looks cool. Let me download the app. I download the app. I set up my profile. Extremely easy to do so. Set up my profile. And then I spend literally like an hour on this Threads app. I'm in it. If you're anything like me, you maybe have a Twitter and you haven't been on Twitter in ages. I don't think I've been on Twitter since my wedding was over or since my birthday. And even when I think about it, my wedding was April of last year. My birthday's in November. There was a gap where I wasn't on Twitter last year either. And so April to November is what? 7 months. So there was a 7-month gap. And then since my birthday, what are we in now? July? There's like an 8-month gap there. So if we combine those two together, I haven't been on Twitter for real in like over a year, because I'm sure whatever I posted in November was real quick and I wasn't posting back to back. So I haven't been on Twitter in so long. But for some reason, I found myself so infatuated with Threads. Let me tell you what Threads did. Threads didn't solve a life-threatening problem. Heck, Threads didn't even solve a completely new problem. What Threads did was they looked at what their competitor lacked, combined it with what their audience needed, and provided a unique solution. Let me break it down for you. Everyone on Instagram has been complaining about a couple of things lately. One, the fact that people aren't authentic anymore, that they feel like you got to be this picture perfect version of yourself to post on Instagram. Whereas when TikTok popped up, I could hop on TikTok with a bonnet on and sell my product. I can't really do that on Instagram. So it robbed it of that authenticity feature. Two, people wanted a way to connect with their community without having to worry about the algorithm. They wanted to be able to have real conversations with people within their community and not have to stress about it. Now, mix that with the fact that people on Twitter have been for a long time screenshotting tweets, putting it on Instagram to share it to their story or to turn into a carousel. Not only that, but people on Twitter, me in particular, I hate posting on Twitter because I feel like only 5 people see it. Twitter is set up in a way where only the people that follow you see it, unless somebody with a public account retweets you and possibly exposes you to a whole group of people, and then those people actually take the time to pay attention. That's how Twitter is set up. Threads looked at both sides of the coin, looked at what their audience was asking for, which was community building and authenticity, and then looked at the gaps in what Twitter was providing and created a unique solution to a problem. The problem is not new. The problem is not life-threatening or huge, but there was a gap in how the problem was being solved, and they decided to uniquely solve it. So I want you to think about that example and put yourself into their shoes. If you think that everyone on the planet is selling exactly what you are selling or that you want to sell, what unique angle can you take to it? What gaps are there in the industry right now that you can fill? Heck, what do you think your target audience needs? And uniquely solve that problem. In addition to that, I want you to think about how your brand is different. Have you ever heard of USPs before? Let me know in the chat. Have you ever heard of USPs? Marikai said, I downloaded it yesterday. Fearless Ray said, yes, that's why I started. USPs stand for unique selling points, right? And so USPs, if you sit down and actually do the groundwork for your brand, if you sit down and actually lay the foundation for your brand, not skipping steps because you think there's a cheat code, if you take the time to build out your brand internally and externally, A lot of you guys hop straight to designing the website or creating the logo or creating the business card or telling everybody that you're about to launch, and you skip the research that goes into it. You skip the audience research or the audience build out that goes into it. You skip writing out your brand story. You skip creating your brand's PMVs. You skip figuring out what the problem is that you're solving and developing your problem and solution analysis. You skip creating a brand power statement. You skip all these things that are the foundation to your brand. They're the things that will help you identify how you're different. When you skip all of these brand building foundational steps, you will always blend in with everybody else because you haven't done the groundwork to separate yourself from everybody else. Unique selling points, you're able to develop them when you do the groundwork. You're able to develop what I like to call your brand unique edge, right? And so if you're in any of my programs or if you work one-on-one with me, you've heard me say your brand's unique edge over and over and over again. And there's a system that I take my one-on-one clients through, and there's a system that's embedded in my main programs, like the Ultimate Launch Course and Rebrand to Elevate, that guides you through developing these unique points within your brand, that you are then able to feel confident in what your brand provides and how your brand is different. Some of you guys have been rocking with me for a long time. I saw somebody earlier that said, I've been here for the full 3 years. Shout out to you. That is what's up. I should have pinned that comment. But you said that you've been rocking with me for 3 years. I don't know how long you've been rocking with me with you watching me right now, but if you've been rocking with me for a while, you've probably been rocking with me in particular for a reason. Not only that, but you know that when you go elsewhere, and I'm talking about this current business, me as a brand strategist, right? You know that when you go elsewhere, you don't get the same type of vibe. You decide that you want to watch my videos or you want to join my programs or you want to join this live right now because of something. That something stems from my uniqueness. With this particular brand, I have the ability to be the face. I'm the face, so I have the ability to develop a personality for my brand, a tone for my brand that sounds very similar to myself as a person, right? And that's another thing. Even when you sell physical and virtual products, your brand should have a personality. It should have a tone. And if you haven't even done that, you got to go back to the drawing board. But anyway, with me, with what I do, I have a certain brand personality. I have a certain tone in my messaging. I have certain things that make me different. When I think about my unique selling points, the first one and the biggest one is that I'm not a business coach. I never call myself a business coach. I call myself a brand strategist and at times maybe even a brand coach, because the way that I teach everything in a brand-centric way. I don't teach it in a product-centric way or in any other centric type of way. I teach it in a brand-centric way. Everything that I teach you how to successfully do, the root is always your brand, even down to pricing. When it comes to pricing your products, there are 4 C's of pricing. 2 out of those 4 C's are directly correlated to your brand. One of them is your target audience, right? One of them is your target audience. Another one is your brand itself and your brand's unique positioning in the industry. Those are 2 of the 4 C's of my pricing strategy. When it comes to a business coach, they're probably going to tell you, okay, well, if this costs this much and this costs this much and you want to mark it up by this much margin, then that gives you the price. And that's not an incorrect way to do it. However, that's not a brand-centric approach. My approach is very brand-centric because if you want your brand to be perceived a certain way, you need to take into account the perception of your audience that they currently have, and you need to take into account where you want to fall on the totem pole when it comes to your industry and where you want to stack up against other brands. your unique brand positioning. So as you see with something as simple as pricing, there's a brand-centric approach and there's another approach. I'm brand-centric, and that's why I don't call myself a business coach, right? I'm not in competition with business coaches. Heck, I'm not even in competition for real with brand strategists, because I know the uniqueness of my brand. I know how I'm different. I also don't sugarcoat. I tell you what it is, and I tell you what it's not. I'm very sassy. I'm very animated. I'm extra. Talk with my hands. I do a lot of this, that, all that, right? And if you actually saw me in person, you know, if you were walking by or you saw me in an event one day and a song was playing, you might see me throwing it back like the girl off of Bob's Burgers, because I'm not scared to look silly, and I love to have fun, and I do these things where I'm always up to something. That is my personality. And a lot of you guys are able to see all of those things, or a dose of those things, through how I speak, through what I do on camera, through the words I use. I say something like bomb.com brand. I feel like I was one of the first people in this lane to really say that. I know what makes me different. I know what makes my brand different, and I thrive off of that. Competition doesn't matter to me. Did y'all see the I wrote down here that I wanted to bring up was it Fendi and Versace? Yes. Fendi and Versace. Do y'all remember when they collaborated? Do y'all remember when Fendi and Versace collaborated? I think it was called like Vendasi? What was it called? I think it was Vendasi or something like that. Fendasi. That's what it was. Fendasi. That was the collab of Versace and Fendi. I'm gonna put it up on the screen so y'all know what I'm talking about. If this thing allows me to be great. I'm gonna put it on the screen so y'all know what I'm talking about. But the reason why Versace and Fendi, I'm about to show y'all right now, because I know I'm not crazy. Fendi and Versace collab. And then we got 3 more. My goal is to be out of here by 9:30, y'all, but this was too good. I didn't want to rob y'all. Hold on, let me share my screen if I can remember how to do it. Oh, Lord, this is my second time using this. Hold on. Dang it, I figured this out last time, and now I don't know if I can figure it out now. I'm going to screenshot it and then drop it in the chat. Let me go to images. Okay, let me screenshot this. Boom. Y'all still with me? Did it make sense what I just said? And so Fendi and Versace collaborated, and the reason they were able to collaborate is because they know how they're unique. They know what's unique about their brand, what's unique about their story, what's unique about all of that. They also know what their unique selling points are. And they were able to collaborate and not stress about anything. They were able to join forces and do something even bigger and better without having to worry that, oh, Fendi was gonna steal all my audience, or Fendi was gonna steal whatever. They're not worried about that. And I know that y'all think Fendi and Versace sell a lot of the same things, but they're not worried about that. Let me see. Is this the screenshot? I'm about to show y'all the collab. Okay, y'all see it? Ooh, child, not my whole screen. Get off my face. Okay. This is what it looks like. It's called Vendasi. They had the Fendi logo, and they would use Versace prints, or sometimes they would use Fendi prints and then the Medusa head. They had like a combination of Fendi and Versace, and that collection actually did really well for them. Really well, extremely well for them. Extremely well. And so what I want you to do, if number 2, which is too much competition, has been something that has been stopping you from fully going after your dreams or has been stopping your success, I want you to change your way of thinking. Instead of you thinking that there are all these people out here selling the same thing, doing the same thing, think about it like, oh, there are all these people out here doing this, but they're not doing it the way that I'm about to do it, or they're not uniquely solving the problem the way that I'm about to solve it. That's what I want you to do. I want you to change your way of thinking. I want you to be so confident in your brand that you're able to say that your brand is the ish. And it doesn't matter whether 11 other brands pop up tomorrow, you know what your lane is. I have this VIP day client for July, right? Because I had Althea was my VIP client before, and then I actually opened up applications to work with me for 3 weeks for a VIP day experience, but I only allowed 3 people. And one of the ladies who signed on, she's coming into an industry of shoes. A lot of you guys who are selling shoes, you're just out here saying, I'm going to sell heels, I'm going to sell sneakers, I'm going to sell this, I'm going to sell that. But you're not thinking about the problem that you're solving. This particular client came to me knowing that there was a problem that people were experiencing in this shoe industry, and she wanted to fill that gap. Now, what we're working on together is building on that to develop her unique selling points, as well as building out her entire brand and her entire brand experience to be able to showcase the unique edge of her brand to attract the specific audience who has the problem that she is uniquely solving. Once you do that, like I said, competition doesn't exist, but then you have a brand that you ultimately love. Okay? So let's get into number 3. Y'all ready for number 3? And don't forget, if you feel like I'm dropping gems, if you feel like this is super helpful to you, you love Hustle Talks, this is something that I started last month, you can there's a button below this video. It says thanks on it. You can hit it. You can donate $1, $5, $10, whatever it is that you feel in your heart to give, because I worked hard on this, y'all. I'm not kidding. I did. But, give if your heart desires, right? Now let's get into number 3. Y'all still with me? Number 3, the third roadblock, and this is something that I currently still deal with, and I have to talk myself through it every single time. Roadblock number 3 is fear of failure. Remember, if you resonate with these roadblocks, if you hear this and you're like, oh my gosh, that is me right now, or oh my gosh, I've always struggled with this, put that's me in the chat. So fear of failure is the third roadblock. Fear of failure is the third roadblock. And because I resonate with this so much, I'm going to walk you through what my thought process is every time I'm struggling with fear of failure, and every time the fear of failure stops me, or gets in my way, I should say, not stops me, but slows me down, or sometimes it stops me. Fear of failure is crazy. Like, I feel like I just went through this again. I have like my spurts. But if fear of failure is one of your roadblocks, if fear of failure is one of your roadblocks, you are probably the person who will spend all of this time sourcing or creating this product, creating this content strategy, creating this master plan of how you're going to do this, how you're going to do that. And then after you've created this master plan or you've put all this work toward this particular thing, you step away from it for a while, you come back the next day, you look at the plan and the strategy that you mapped out, or you look at all the work that you've done, and you think to yourself, that's not good enough. People aren't going to like this. Let me tweak it some more. So you tweak it some more. You look at it again. You're like, nah, this probably ain't going to do good. And you tweak it some more. And you tweak it so much because you're aiming for it to be at a certain level of perfection. And in reality, it never gets there. The fear of failure, all it is procrastination with a mask on. And you're procrastinating because you have this false sense of perfection. Perfection does not exist. Since I was a kid, I have been told no one is perfect. And that is still true to this day. No one is perfect. Nothing is perfect. No matter what you do or how hard you try, someone isn't going to like something. Someone may react negatively to something. Heck, you may even, quote unquote, fail. But when you continue to let this fear of failure, which is really this false sense of perfection, mixed with a little procrastination, when you really let that control your mind, it puts you into this space where you think everyone around the world is looking at you. And if you drop the ball now, everyone is going to laugh at you. Everyone is going to think that you're a joke. No one is going to trust you again. No one is going to want to shop with you. No one is going to want to be in your community or be a part of your audience or anything. You think that, child, everybody is minding their business when I tell you that, right? And this is something that literally I have to tell myself every single time. Failure is inevitable. No matter how hard you try, because we are not made to be perfect beings, you're going to fail at something. Heck, you probably fail at something every single day when you pay attention to it. If I get out of bed and I accidentally stub my toe, I failed to get out of bed and stand up straight. To be completely honest, I failed at something. You maybe made something last week. You were testing out a new recipe or something like that, and it didn't turn out right. You failed at making that recipe, quote unquote. Failure is inevitable. The reason why failure exists is as a way of teaching you a lesson so that way you can get better. Failure exists so that you can get better. Stop looking at it like failure and look at it like lesson. You have this fear of everyone is looking at me, and if I fail, they're going to make fun of me. Out of the people who are going to make fun of you, how many of them are trying? How many of them are starting businesses? How many of them have a successful business? How many of them are juggling motherhood, a 9-to-5, and entrepreneurship? How many of them are juggling a marriage, entrepreneurship, a side hustle, and a 9-to-5, and are successfully doing it? Out of the people who are judging you, 10 times out of 10, the people who you're worried about who will judge you are people who aren't doing jack diddly squat. I don't care what broke people think. I don't mean to seem like rude or shady about it. Actually, I do. I don't care what broke people think. If you are not doing anything to progress your life, I don't care what you have to say. If you have been in the same spot when I met you till now, I don't care what you have to say. And broke is not just financially broke to me. Broke is also mentally broke to me. When you're mentally broken, you find it hard to believe in progression. When you're mentally broken, you find it hard to have faith and believe in things that you can't see. I don't want to listen to anybody who is broke mentally or financially. I don't care to be judged by them. And if they judge me, oh freaking well, that's why you're still where you're at. So if number 3, which is the fear of failure, is one of the things that you're dealing with, and you're dealing with that because you don't want to be judged, or you're dealing with it because you have this false sense of perfection, just remember that the people who are judging you their opinions don't matter at all. The only opinion that matters is God's and yours, honestly. And if you have someone who is some sort of a mentor or a coach to you or something like that, who has done there, been that, and is continually doing that, then obviously if they tell you, hey, no, don't do that, do this a little bit, they're not making fun of you like the broke people will. They're just guiding you. That's a difference. But stop caring what people think, because they don't matter. Not only that, like I said, failure is inevitable. You have to fail to be good at anything. To be able to cook really well, you got to fail in a couple recipes. To be able to ride a bike, you probably fell a couple of times. To be able to, just do anything. You had to have failed a couple of times, but those things are not called failures. They're called lessons. So why can't you look at your business in that way? Instead of saying, oh, this is going to be a failure, or this may fail, or I failed at this, so I'm not going to continue. Look at it like lessons. What did I take from this situation? What was the main takeaway? What was I supposed to learn? And apply that and keep moving. You want to know something? Failure is inevitable, right? But so many people still fear failure. When in reality, what you should be afraid of is being in the same place the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year as you're in today. You should be so afraid of being the same exact person in the same exact place in your life that you want to take action. That's what you should be afraid of. You shouldn't be afraid of failing. In order for you to get to the point that you want to be at, you have to have failed to learn a lesson to then get there. I don't want to be in the same place next month or next year. So guess what? I got to push through and try. If I quote unquote fail, I learn from it, I move on. Let's go. Let's get it. I get better. As I was going through that obstacle course, if I did end up dangling off of that thin line, I honestly would have figured out a way to pull myself back up, and I would have kept going. I'm not going to stop because the people on the bottom saw me fall off, because y'all are on the bottom looking at me 50 feet above y'all on this obstacle course. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see what I did there? I don't care that the people on the bottom who are just spectating what I'm doing see me fall off, because y'all are on the bottom floor looking at me 50 feet above you going through this obstacle course. I'm getting through it. I'm making it. I'm going to successfully get through it. As y'all are watching from the sidelines, keying and hi-hiing, but I have gotten stronger and I have pushed myself to a new limit to get through, so that way I can go to the next level. And by the time I was at level 4 in the Treetop course, if we got there and lightning didn't strike, right? I would have been so high above y'all that y'all would have looked like little dots to me. Take that analogy and apply it to your everyday life. Apply it to your everyday business. What I'm afraid of is that. I'm afraid of being stuck in the same place. What I'm also afraid of is getting to heaven, seeing God, and Him showing me all the things that I could have been, all of the blessings that I could have had, all of the people that I could have impacted, all of the seeds that I could have planted and left behind for my family behind me, to be able to go through, right? And to be able to use that legacy. What I'm afraid of is getting to heaven and seeing all that and Him saying, yeah, if you wasn't scared of failing, you could have had all this. That's what I'm afraid of. Can you imagine the feeling knowing that you could have had so much, but you punked yourself out of getting that? Woo, child. But let's get into roadblock number 4. How y'all feeling though? How y'all feeling? We on the second to last one. How y'all feeling? I know I said 9:30, but I started going in a little bit on number 3. Sorry, y'all. So I'm going to go through these last 2 really quickly. I'm going to try to get y'all out here. If y'all don't have questions, I'm going to try to get y'all out of here in like 10, 12 minutes or something like that. Okay? So y'all with me? Y'all okay if I take like 12 more minutes of your time? Let me know in the chat. Are y'all okay if I take like 12 more minutes of your time? And while y'all tell me that in the chat, what I did forget to tell you guys is that from now on, when I go live for Hustle Talks, the replays will only be available for a few hours after that. I'm thinking like 48 to 72 hours. And the reason why is because Hustle Talks is now a podcast on YouTube Music. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go live. And if you want to experience the live with me, if you want to chat, if you want to ask your questions, if you want to engage with me, you want to make sure that you are at the live Mondays at 8 p.m. Today is off schedule because of the holiday that was earlier this week and Andy's birthday. But Mondays at 8 p.m., I'll go live. And pretty much if you want to engage with me, you'll engage with me. You'll be able to ask your questions. You'll be able to comment in the chat. You'll be able to do all that. And then what's going to happen is we're going to pull down the live a few hours afterwards. And we're then going to edit it, clean it up a little bit, and put it up on the podcast channel, okay? So the gems will still be there, but if y'all want to engage with me, you want to be at the live. So make sure that y'all mark on your calendar Mondays at 8 p.m. And then I'll also give you guys like notice when the new podcast episodes are dropped. And another thing too, when I go live, it doesn't mean that the podcast episode that's dropping that week is going to be the same topic. It's actually going to be an older topic. So what I did was I gave a space in between it. So the first podcast episode that's going to drop on Monday on YouTube Music is actually going to be the very first Hustle Talk episode that we did. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know that. So make sure that if you want to engage in live, you're here. If you prefer to watch the podcast edited version after it, then check that out once it's on YouTube Music, which is going to be like 3 weeks later from the current episode. And yeah, okay. Had to share that announcement. But okay, I see you guys saying fine with me. I'm feeling better. Sure. Okay. Cool beans. So I'm looking at the time. We're going to crank this out in like 12 minutes. And then I'm going to give you guys maybe some time to ask questions. Okay. So I'm going to try really bad. All right. So roadblock number 4 is no money. If you resonate with this one, put that's me. If you stop yourself because you didn't have enough money, put that's me. Roadblock number 4 is no money. If I had $1 for every time I heard no money as an excuse, I would be richer than I am right now. Fearlessly Ray said, save this video. So yeah, Fearlessly Ray, this is going to be saved for like 72 hours and then it's coming down, but it's going to go back up as a podcast episode. So I'm going to show you, if you want to tune into Hustle Talks podcast, like once it's up, you go to YouTube Music, you download the YouTube Music app. It's also going to live on my YouTube channel too, so you'll see it on my YouTube channel. Don't worry about it. But if you go to the YouTube Music app and you search Hustle Talks, it's in the podcast section, and it says Hustle Talks with the Brand Hustler. Do you see that? So this is where all of the episodes are going to go, and there'll be a new episode released every week. But the lives for you to interact with me, you want to make sure that you're live, okay? I'll do a breakdown of it to my email list too, so that y'all understand what's going on. It's basically like I'm recording a podcast, but you guys are watching me. And then the edited version gets displayed on the podcast channel. Okay, but anyway, so I see a lot of you guys saying the no money thing is definitely you. Althea said all these roadblocks have been me. Girl, what? We got to get through that, right? And so when it comes to no money, you tend to punk yourself out of opportunities because of the price tag that's associated with it. Never do we actually think about how our money will multiply, though. How many times have you looked at a investment for your business and thought, oh my God, that's too much money? How many times have you done that? Write that down. If you can even write that number down, it's probably a lot. And now ask yourself, how many times have you looked at a business investment, an investment for your business, and thought, that's a good investment. I'm definitely going to make 3 times that back. How many times have you thought about that? Right? We punk ourselves out of opportunities because of the price tag that's associated with them, but never do we think, how can our money actually work for us? When we think about investing in stocks, right? When we think about investing in real estate even, you immediately think, oh, okay, if I put this much in this house and I fix it up a little bit by putting the extra X amount in this house and I flip it, all right, I'm going to get my money back and then some. But why don't we think that way about business? Business is the root of real estate investing. Business is the root of investing in stocks. So why not think that way with your business? If you put a certain amount in your business and you actually do the work, you're going to see the results of that. In 2021. In 2021, because 2022 is last year. In 2021, I invested, I think it was like 35,000 into improving my mindset, improving certain things about my business. I invested 35,000 into it. 2021, I started my business in 2019. 2021 made what I made my first year in business, what I made my second year of business, combined and then some. 2021 was the first year I crossed over to $300,000. I invested $35,000. If I look back on my first year in business, I made enough to replace my salary, which my salary was like $45,000 at the time. I made enough to replace my salary my first full year in business, so 2019 of April to 2020 of April. I made a little bit more than $45,000. I think I made close like 60, 65, 70, something like that. I don't know. But that's with me maybe investing in like a book or two here or something cheap here or there or whatever. I've always been the type to like invest in myself and get better. But when I compare the investment level that I did in 2021, it was way more in 2021. And then I saw way more benefits from it. I reaped way more benefits from it. Okay? So ask yourself, how can I make money? How can my money multiply for me that I put into my business? You're worried about the cost of something as silly as really nice business cards. But you don't ever think, if I invest in these really nice business cards, if I spend the extra, let's say $100 on these business cards, instead of going the cheap route and getting business cards for $20, I could possibly go to a whole bunch of networking and business events, hand out business cards, and have my business cards be a conversation starter. Because now when they touch my business card, they're like, ooh, this is nice. What I love to do when it comes to business cards, especially when I had the agency and it was up and accepting clients, is I love to convince my clients to go with the premium finishes. That means we can make a card velvet. We can make a card gold foil. We can make a card 3D. The reason why is when people feel that card or see that card, they now think more about you as a business owner. They don't want the cheap and flimsy stuff. And this is just an example. The same thing can go for how much you're investing into your product. You want to be considered luxury or high quality, yet when it comes to you picking the ingredients, you're going with the ingredient that costs 50 cents versus the one that costs $1.50. If your prices line up, 50 and $1.50, there's no difference. But the difference in the quality that your customers receive, there's the difference. So you don't think about, the first thing that I want you to grasp from this is you punk yourself out of opportunities because of the price tag associated with them. The second thing is that you don't think about how your money will multiply when it comes to investing in any aspect of your business, mindset, development, inventory, whatever. You don't think about this, yet you splurge every weekend on brunch. You splurge every day of the week on Uber Eats. When you look at your Uber Eats billing history, you've probably spent the investment that you was going to make in your business and then some. When you look at how much you spend in one sitting of brunch, especially if you brunch like Atlanta people brunch with mimosas and hookah and all this extra stuff. I hate brunch, by the way. But when you brunch like Atlanta people, you are at least spending $100. And if you brunch every single weekend, you're spending $400 on brunch in any given month. And if the month got 5 weekends, $500 on brunch. That $400 or $500 could have been invested into your business. So what I want you to do, this is what I want you to write down. If number 4, because I saw a lot of you guys resonated with this no money part, right? A lot of you guys resonate with the no money rate. Look, a lot of you guys resonate with the no money roadblock. I want you to write this down. 1, I want you to create a money plan. Create a money plan, and it needs to consist of one of these or all 3 of these things. Budgeting better. So making a habit out of sitting down and giving your money the direction of where to go. That's what I mean by budgeting better. Create a money plan where you either budget better or where you cut back your spending on things like brunch or things like Uber Eats. I see so many people cutting back their spending on like membership programs that are actually enhancing their mindset and helping them build their business, but they're not cutting back the fact that they pay for the premium version of Hulu with no ads. That doesn't even make sense. The last time I checked, Hulu Live TV is $64.99. And then if you want no ads, I think it goes up to like $74.99. I actually think it has increased since the last time I checked. So instead of you cutting down to the basic Hulu with ads or cutting down to the basic Hulu without live TV for 6 months so that way you can keep the membership to enhance your brand and enhance your business, you cut the whatever amount, let's just use the eHustle Club for example, you cut the $69 membership, but yet you keep the $74 Hulu instead of cutting Hulu down to the $15 plan and keeping the membership and working at your brand and business. You see what I'm saying? So budget better, cut back your spending, or just make more money. That's what the money plan is. The money plan is either doing one of these things or all of these things. Budgeting better, cutting back your spending, or making more money. When I had my shoe boutique, or when I was starting my shoe boutique, I had the same issue. I didn't have enough money to invest in inventory and do all the things that I wanted to do. What did I do? I made more money. How did I do that? I found side hustles and side gigs. There's a reason why I have a video called Side Hustles that I record once or twice a year on my YouTube channel. If you go to my channel and you search Side Hustles, I want you to watch all of those videos that say side hustle in them. In those videos, I tell you great side hustles. And in one of those videos, I actually tell you all the side hustles that I had when I was starting my entrepreneurship journey. When I tell you, I have driven Uber, driven Lyft, did Shipt, did Instacart, did DoorDash, did Postmates, sold plates on the side of food. I did it all. I made more money. No money is never an excuse for me. I'm not going to make that an excuse. I'm going to create a money plan where either I budget better, I cut back something, or I make more money. 9 times out of 10, I'm always going to vouch for the make more money route, but sometimes I do cut back stuff too. It's like maybe 60-40. 60% make money, 40% cut back. Sometimes I do both. Because, yeah. But assign your money a job by budgeting better. Cut back something that you don't need, not something that you do need, that will actually go towards growing your business or developing your mindset, and then make more money. And then last but not least, number 5, the 5th roadblock is no resources, or lack of knowledge. If this is you, put "that's me" in the chat. Put "that's me" in the chat. As Perfect as Possible says, I definitely have a habit that costs $100 a week. And yeah, I got to figure that out. Keisha said, worried about not completing the task to see the benefits happen. That's a good one, Keisha. You got to use that money as a contract. Once you spend the money, you got to be committed to following it through. And you have to be okay with the fact that if you don't follow through, you just lost ×2. So number 5 is the fifth roadblock is no resources or lack of knowledge. If that's you currently or has been you, put "that's me" in the chat. Hey, Hadia. If you're watching this right now and you use not knowing how to do something as an excuse, put "that's me" in the chat. This is by far the easiest roadblock that you can get over. The reason why is the world is filled with so much information. But I get it. There's so much information that sometimes you freak yourself out and you don't know which way to go or who to take information from. And I'm going to share who to take information from in a second. But if you use not knowing how to do something as an excuse, put "that's me" in the chat. Not knowing how to do something is not an excuse. You have 3 categories of things that will help you, especially when it comes to brand building, especially when it comes to business building, heck, even when it comes to wealth building. You have books that you can read to inform you. Books have a wealth of information and they provide great insight. You have videos that can teach you how to do something or teach you how that particular person whose video you're watching does something. And then you have coaches and strategists to help you, to either give you the lay of the land, give you the framework, or hold your hand throughout the process. So you got all these things, something that can inform you, something that can teach you, something that can help you. Why is not knowing still an excuse? It's not an excuse. There's a wealth of knowledge out there. You just got to find it. Figure out what you need to know specifically and find the book, find the video, find the coach who teaches on those things. Where I'm at right now, I'm in a space in my life where I am rebuilding credit. I have pinpointed the area of my life that I need to improve, and I have sought out the proper books for it. I have sought out the proper videos to watch, and I have sought out the proper coach to coach me through it. Why haven't you done the same? You remain stuck in this place because instead of pinpointing and gaining clarity on what the heck you need help with in the first place, you rather stay flustered and sit there and kind of freak out about everything and not make any moves at all. Get a sheet of paper, write down every thought that's going through your head. And as you write down every thought that's going through your head, pinpoint the subject or the topic that it relates to, and then see what the common theme is. Once you see what the common theme is, you can pinpoint the area in your life that you need help with. And then go out there and get the book, watch the video, or hire the coach to help you through it. The other end of the spectrum when it comes to no resources or lack of knowledge is that you tend to not know because you don't have the clarity on what the heck you need help with. You tend to end up in information overload, right? If you've ever invested in so many programs, so many courses, so many things, and yet you still don't know what to do, it's because you have an information overload problem. You never complete the course. You never complete the program. You never complete the book. You pick up a book here, a course here, another book here, another course here about every little thing. There's no clarity. Even if you have multiple problems that need to be solved, you need to create a game plan on how you are going to attack each and every problem so that way you're not flustering your mind. When you have information overload, it keeps you stuck. You feel good that you actually invested in the thing, but you did nothing with it because you don't know what to do with it because you got too much going on. You got that. Then a mixture of information overload and just not having clarity on what the heck is going on and what you need help with. You end up then investing in the wrong thing, in the wrong book, in the wrong coach. You end up investing your time watching the wrong video. And then you get mad that you don't see results when in reality you were never clear in the first place to understand who you needed to help you or what you needed to help you. You end up investing in 500 things versus the 4 or 5 impactful things that will actually give you the transformation that you need or that you want. The reason why I decided to create a VIP experience is because I know specifically what I'm looking for. The reason I decided to create a VIP experience and have an application for it is because I know specifically what my target audience is dealing with that will benefit from this VIP experience. I want to make it clear to them what the VIP experience is before they ever pay me $1. If the VIP experience is not for them, I direct them to something that is. And if I don't have something for them that I feel like will help them with their problem, I guide them somewhere else. One of the things that I do before someone books a VIP experience with me is we have a consultation. That consultation is to give that person clarity because 9 times out of 10, they're coming as a cluster of different things. And I'm giving them the clarity to pinpoint the exact things that they have problems with. You need to work through that yourself, right? You need to work through that. Get the clarity that you need so that you know what you need to solve it. Now, like I said, with information overload, you end up investing in like 500 things versus the 4 or 5. And I want to help you clarify that, right? They're typically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's typically 5 areas that you would need a coach in. Typically 5 areas. Each of these 5 areas, they have like different problems and stuff like that. And depending on the specific problem you have, you find the specific resource or coach for it. But there's typically 5 areas. You have 1, brand building, aka me. Helping you identify, research, learn about all of that, your target audience. Brand building in terms of visual design. Brand building in terms of developing your brand story. Brand building in terms of developing purpose-driven marketing tactics. Brand building in terms of having a brand-centric approach to things like your pricing or your content. Brand building. That's one area. The second area is then business. You have things like inventory management or creating the product or some forms of more techie types of marketing that the brand building aspect doesn't cover. So business is the second area that you can need a coach. So can you have a brand coach and a business coach at the same time? Yes. The third area that you possibly need a coach or need help in is finances, management of your finances, investing, wealth building tactics, etc. The fourth is in systems and operations, developing things like SOPs, which are standard operating procedures, learning how to build a team, manage a team, hold team meetings, who to hire, how to build your org chart, how to even decide who you're paying, what the roles look like, how to train them. All of that is systems and operations, as well as what softwares need to work together and how, so that way things run smoothly. Then you have your life and your mental. That area that you would invest in, either a coach or a book, etc., is for you to get to a level of confidence and for you to get to a level of clarity in your life that you know exactly what you need to do next. Okay? So that's number 5, right? No resources or lack of knowledge. I just gave you how you can combat that. And I also share with you the 5 areas that you typically need to invest in. Okay? So, now, was this helpful for y'all? Going through roadblocks 1 through 5 and sharing my Treetop story, was it helpful for you guys? Did you enjoy it? Something that I didn't mention in the Treetop story earlier is that after I went through all of that, after I pushed through the obstacle course and then the lightning came and we had to push through and finish and all that, is we actually then got vouchers to come back at a later date and go through the obstacle course again. Andy and I looked at each other and we said, oh yeah, we're coming back and we're definitely bringing people back with us. And Andy turned to me in the car and said, yeah, when we bring people back, one of us should go in the front, one of us should stay behind in the line, so that way we can coach people through the obstacles that we just went through. Did y'all hear what I just said? After we went through all of the scary things on the obstacle course and almost died by getting electrocuted, we got vouchers to come back. And we decided in the car on the ride home, well, first we got coffee, but we decided on the way home that we were definitely going to come back and we were going to bring people with us. And he turned to me and said, one of us is going to lead the line. So that way we go through the obstacle again first to show them how it's done. One of us is going to be at the back. So that way we can coach people through it. See, when you push yourself through certain roadblocks and you conquer those roadblocks and conquer those fears and you get to the end, you now can come back faster, stronger, and more equipped, so much so that you can guide others through that same obstacle course because you've done it. You've pushed through it. You've conquered your fears. You've gotten to the finish line. You've reached some sort of success, and now you can bring people along with you. Y'all, like, what? Are you kidding me? That's a bar in itself. Are you kidding me? I need to take that clip out of this. That is incredible. Push through not having money, and I promise you're going to go through all of the things that I told you on how to overcome those roadblocks. You're going to end up in a better space where you manage your finances better. You're going to end up in a better space where you make more money, where you have stronger investing skills. Push through not having support, and you're going to build a stronger community that supports you through and through. Push through the fear of failure, and you're going to become extremely confident. You're going to have a stronger mindset, and you're going to be more equipped to take on anything of that caliber again and go to the next level, honestly, and take that on with a little bit more ease. So the thumbnail for this, or the title for this, I don't remember which one, said $45,000 leap of faith. And I know I didn't really share the $45,000 leap of faith story in particular because that's my overall entrepreneurship story, period. When I decided to leave my 9-to-5, my corporate marketing job, I left my salary of $45,000 behind. I had a decision to make, and I had to trust in myself and put the fear of failure, put the no money, put the lack of support, put the no resources, put all of that behind me to push through, knowing that I will be able to someday make my salary or make more than that. So me leaving my 9-to-5 was my $45,000 leap of faith. $45,000 was my safety net. If I stayed at my 9-to-5 and I didn't pursue entrepreneurship full-fledged like I wanted to, I would have still had that little funky $45,000 job. And this is not to shame corporate America. This is my story and my story only. But I would have still had that $45,000 job, and I would have had the safety net of my salary. But I took the $45,000 leap of faith and put all of these fears behind me. And despite the roadblocks that I experienced on my journey, I still kept going. That is what got me to the point where I can now say I have made hundreds of thousands of dollars in a very, I don't want to say very short amount of time, but in a short amount of time. That is what I can say now. I look back on that $45,000 salary and the fact that we crossed $750,000 in the past few months in revenue over the span of what? What has it been? Like 3 years, maybe? Are you kidding? 45 times 3 does not equate to $750,000. And I'm going to do the same thing over and over again throughout this business when I build my new product business, which I'm building right now. And if you want to get the insight on that, join the eHustle Club. But anyway, I'm going to continue to do that through and through. And I know that I'm always going to come out a winner. I know that I'm always going to come out a success. Okay? And like I said, I'm building this new product business. We started a new session in the eHustle Club where it's called a live action strategy session, where I build my brand and they get to be flies on the wall, watch me build my brand. They get to ask me questions about why I'm doing certain things. They get to pick my brain and they get to see me build a product brand from scratch, which we had our first session of that last month and they loved it. And so we are going to do it every single month where I literally get on video with them. If I'm dry erase boarding something, if I'm researching something, they get to see my screen. They get to see everything. The first session that we did was I went through my profit check with them. And basically it was me going through my problem and analysis, my problem and solution analysis, going through my initial target audience research, as well as profit checking my business idea that I have and showing them how I do that and showing them how I know that it will be profitable, as well as pinpointing generally who has the problem. And I even identified some of my unique selling points within that session as well. And as I continue to build my brand, we're going to do more and more things. They're going to see me fully build out my target audience. They're going to see me decide on my brand colors and build out my brand guidelines. They're going to see me find and talk to vendors for my product. They're going to see me create my initial launch marketing plan. They're going to see me do all those things. So if you like getting into my brain, if you like the way I think, and you engage with me in these live sessions of Hustle Talks, you're definitely going to want to get a deeper peek into my brain by joining the eHustle Club and definitely joining in on those live action strategy sessions. And we have so many new things coming to the eHustle Club, so you definitely want to join now while you can before the price go up, okay? So I'll leave the link in my description box. But do you guys have any questions before I hop off? Do you have any questions? Thank you so much to the people who gave me super chats. This is my first time asking for them, so I appreciate you guys. And this is something that, as you come on my live week after week, if you find it in your heart to give me whatever it is that you want to give me, whatever you want to donate to me, tip me for these gems, you're always welcome to do so. And I'm always super appreciative when you do so. I said always, but today is really the first day. My mom said you were born a success. Keep on pushing. Heart. Oh, it says pushing face with a heart shape. Thank you, Mom. Okay, Lorelli said, I've delayed my spices launch. When I watched your video on branding, I realized I needed guidance. I just signed up for the eHustle Club membership. Is going to help me prepare. Is it going to help me prepare for launch, or do I need extra? Okay, so great question. I'm going to identify the difference between my curriculum-based programs and the eHustle Club. The eHustle Club is a membership program, and it's really great because it's split up in a way where you get weekly sessions with me, and they're like bursts of information. So if I see that the community is struggling with content planning, we'll talk about content planning. If I see that they're struggling with storytelling or target audience researching techniques, we'll put that on the schedule. We have Q&A sessions, we have audits, we have the live action strategy session, like I said. And so it's great. It's a great support and kind of like underlying kind of connector for everything. Typically what people do is they invest in like my curriculum-based program which for you would be the ultimate launch course because that's your level. And then they use the eHustle Club as like the supportive community where they get continuous refreshers and they get access to me, my brain, and the community often. So you made the right choice by joining the eHustle Club. However, when it comes to giving you a specific curriculum on how to develop a launch marketing strategy, how to go through your pre-launch stage, all the way up until your live and launch stage, the ultimate launch course is going to be really good for that. We haven't opened up enrollment for that just yet, but it is going to open up, I believe, late July or early August. So I would go to your ultimate launch. I'll put it in the chat. I will go to yourultimatelaunch.com and join the wait list for that as well. And by being in the eHustle Club, you're going to know about when I open up first anyway. So you'll be able to, oh man, I think I have to put that as an HTTPS. You're going to know when I open up the ultimate launch course first because you're in the eHustle Club. But yeah, you didn't make a wrong step. You actually did a good step. But if you're looking for a more curriculum step-by-step thing, your ultimate launch is going to be perfect for that. I wish I knew how to share my screen because, you know, I would share it with you so that way you can see the ultimate launch course. But I don't know how to do that yet. I did it the other day and I don't know how to do that. Any more questions? Oh, I found it. Ha ha ha. Okay, wait. I found it. Okay, boom. Let me show you. Let me make this bigger so that you can see. Hold on. So you would go here and you would join the wait list because enrollment is currently closed. But I want to show you like a peek into the curriculum because that's a great question. I actually just explained this to someone like 2 days ago. And I'll show you the eHustle Club as well and what it looks like. And if y'all have any more questions, I'll take like 2 more questions and then I'm going to hop off. But member.eHustle Club. There we go. Okay, so let me show you what the ultimate launch course looks like whenever it loads. Whenever it decides to load, child, I'll show you that. Oh no. Okay, perfect. I'm in here. So Lorelli, and shout out to you joining the eHustle Club. Sorry, I didn't even say congratulations and welcome. Okay, so this is what the curriculum for the ultimate launch course looks like. It's curriculum based and you can't progress until you do the lesson before it. So it's very structured. And as you see, we have the different segments. We talk about your CEO hustler mindset, your profitable business idea, which I call profit check, which now you see how they work together. Remember I said that in the eHustle Club, the first session for the live action strategy session that we did last week, I walked through the first step of building my business and I performed a profit check for my new business and they got to see that. You will learn how to do that for your business here, but then you see how I apply it in the eHustle Club. Okay, so it's like a supportive measure. But then you have building your unique brand, creating hype on social media. You get like your launch promotional timeline. You learn my content conversion system. You get a pre-launch content calendar. We talk about email marketing and building excitement there, amping up your launch hype. You learn about foundational email campaigns and automation techniques. You learn how to set goals for your launch, strategize. You learn how to activate those strategies, how to audit and analyze your launch. And then we talk about some mindset and motivation for your first year in business. Even though a lot of the people in the ultimate launch course, they're actually like relaunching, but I still felt like it was nice to call it your first year in business because it's your first real year in business, you know? So that's what that looks like when it comes to the ultimate launch course. So if you want something more systematic, you want you need that curriculum based thing with a specific transformation, the ultimate launch course is going to be perfect for you. But the eHustle Club, like I said, is the perfect like boost as well. Okay, so that's what that is. And then I'm going to show you what the eHustle Club looks like. So the eHustle Club, when you log in, hold on, let me show y'all. I got so many tabs up. When you log into the eHustle Club, after you become a member, it looks like this, right? So this is your main part. You have access to something called the club. You also have access to live action strategy, and then you have access to audits and Q&A. With the main part of the club, this is where we store all of our current month's lessons and their replays. So once we go live, all the replays are always recorded and added to the dashboard, and then they expire after a certain time. But then on your dashboard, you also have the eHustler brand power pack, which are essentials to kickstart your journey. You have the bonus bag, which are bonus templates and things like that. And then you have like a books and videos library, and they have a content planning toolkit. They already have access to this, but we're bringing it to their dashboard. And so that's what the eHustle Club looks like. And so every month we have a schedule like this. This is June's schedule, and you kind of see it's kind of like it's a bits and doses of everything. So we talked about lifestyle content last week. We had the live action strategy session. That's what this is. We changed the name from product brand case study to live action strategy session. We had the Pro Gem session where we discussed how to create stories for their products. And then we had a content audit, and it actually turned into a full out Q&A session on there about content. And then as a member of the eHustle Club, you have access to this audits and Q&A session. This is where we store the replays for all our audits and our Q&As that we do. And I audit everything from your visual branding, your social media content, even your products and packaging. I have my eHustle Club members send me their products, and I audit it live and give them feedback on it. We then have the other section called the live action strategy session. And this is where you watch, learn, and engage with me as I build a brand from scratch. And as you see, the first session we did was about finding a profitable product. And you see, we get to the nitty gritty. You see this? Like, we were in here. They saw me build out my agenda for the day and what I was going to work on. They saw me like do my full problem and solution analysis. Like, they saw me do all of this stuff. It might be a little fuzzy, but they saw me go through that. They saw me highlight what will be there, all the things. And so they got to see all of that. But that's the eHustle Club, and that's how it compares to the Ultimate Launch course or any of my other curriculum-based programs. So my other curriculum-based program is Rebrand to Elevate, and then we have a third that's launching sometime next year. So that's that. You said take all your time. You're welcome. You're welcome. So yeah, okay. So that's it. We stayed on here really long, y'all. Really, really long. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Please remember that from now on, the replays will only be live for about 72 hours. Okay, I'm supposed to look here. Remember that the replays will only be live for about 72 hours. After that, they're going to be taken down, and you're going to have to wait for them to be published on the podcast channel. So if you want to follow the podcast channel, make sure you turn your notifications on my main YouTube channel, because it's going to alert you on there when I have a new podcast episode uploaded. But also go to the YouTube Music app and search Hustle Talks and scroll to where it has the podcast section, and you will see me there. Okay, so I'm going to show you. You'll see me down here in the podcast section. I'm the first one. You click it, and you can add to your library by clicking that button. Okay? So, all right, y'all. Bye. Have a great night, a great week. And, make the commitment to throw fear in the trash. I want you to comment that in the chat. That's the last thing I want you to comment, is I want you to commit to throwing fear in the trash. Say, from this day forward, I am committing to overcoming, and put whatever fear you're committing to overcome. Or if it's just fears in general, I'm committed to overcoming all of my fears and going after what I'm destined to obtain. Okay? Put that in the chat box. Let me know what you are committed to overcoming. If you're watching the replay of this and you are part of the replay fam, Put what you are committed to overcoming in the comments, because I'm going to be following up with you, liking it, commenting, all that stuff. So have a great night, y'all. Ciao.